Hi everyone. Today we are going to discuss the topic is data loader, and we are going to discuss what is data loader and in how many ways we can use data loader and what are the key features data loader offers. So data loader is just a client application for the bulk import or export of data. Not only bulk import or export, we can do update, delete also for Salesforce records. And you can install this data loader by downloading this data loader from tools in your sandbox or production and from developer edition also. And before you are going to install this data loader, you should have Julu JDK software, Open JDK software. Okay, at least minimum 11 version. Okay, you have installation instructions in online. You can go through that. Now, let's go to what are the different ways we can use data loader. We can use normal user interface for insert or update. So we are going to discuss this practically how we can do in our demo now, and command line also. We can use command line interpreter also. Okay, but it supports Windows only. Okay, through this you can automate the process of inserting or updating or exporting the records. Now, what are the features data loader offers? Okay, first thing is it is easy to use interface. It's interactive use, and it supports alternative command line interface also for automate batch process and batch operations, but it supports Windows operating system only, and it supports large files up to 5 million records. That means you can process 5 million records through data loader. Keep it in mind. Okay, it's one of the interview question, and you can process 5 million records through data loader. You can process 50 million records through batch append. Okay, keep it in mind. And you can have a good user interface to have drag and drop of field mapping, and it supports all standard objects or custom objects for inserting and updating all other operations, okay, like export, delete. And it can be used to process data in both Salesforce and database.com. And once you do any process, it gives success file and error files with the proper CSV format, and it supports CSV format only to process your data for inserting and updating or deleting. Okay, it supports both Windows and Mac. So you can see all the things practically now. So here let's take one object, okay, and in this object the object name is for database table is school object. So click on new for now. So we have school name and location. Okay, these are all the things. These are all two fields I have. I just took the example. You may have multiple fields also. Data supports multiple fields also. And when you have to use data loader, whenever you have lot of data, then you can use data loader. For now, we are going to showcase how we can use data loader practically. Okay, so with a few records. So let's start with the insert. And so to do that, first thing is, as I told you, it supports CSV file only. You have to prepare a CSV file you have to prepare your records in the CSV format. So I already prepared. This is school CSV. Let's open this. Okay, if you see here, we have school name, location. Okay, and you can maintain different names also. Here I am maintaining the same names which are in school object or school database table in Salesforce. You can have other header names also, but while mapping, you have to map manually. If you have same headers, or if you maintain the same headers what you have in the Salesforce object, then it automatically maps. Okay, when you click on auto map. Okay, for now I have school name, location, which is having the same names in the Salesforce object, that is school object. So what we are going to do now, I have prepared CSV file, okay, with the school name and location. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. These are all the school records. Okay, 4 records are there. Now what I have to do, After installation of your data loader, you have to go to this and so go with the latest data loader only always, and you will have insert, update, upsert, delete, okay, export, export all. Okay, so what is the meaning of all these things? Insert, it will be useful for inserting the records. Update, it will be useful for updating your existing records. That means how you can update existing records, you have to export the existing records through export option here, and then you can update, because you will have Salesforce record IDs there, then it will be applicable for updating your records. Upsert, the name suggests itself, upsert contains the combination of insert and update operations. So it inserts the data where it didn't find, where it doesn't find IDs of Salesforce of the particular record. If it finds out the IDs of a particular record in the CSV file, it will update. Okay, we'll see everything practically. Now delete will delete the records based on the record IDs. For deleting also, you have to export the data and then you have to delete. That means delete also can search for IDs, and delete needs only ID mapping. It doesn't need anything else. Export, for exporting the data. What is export and what is export all? What is the difference? So if you do export, it will give the records from the database table, but which doesn't consider the records in the recycle bin. But if you do export all, it considers total records, even it is in recycle bin related to object which you selected, or even it is an object. That means it will export all records along with the deleted records also. Export all, that is the purpose of export all. And what is hard delete here? Okay, here if you see, hard delete is there. It is disabled because for my profile I didn't check that checkbox hard delete. Okay, as your system administrator, you may not have the possibility to change that option, but you can clone the profile and you can have that option to change checkbox. You can check that hard delete checkbox, then this button will be enabled when you log in. Okay, so these are all the difference. What is the difference between delete and hard delete here? Delete means it will delete the records and the records will be available in the recycle bin. You will have the hope to recall or revert back those records. But if you do hard delete, it deletes the records permanently and it never save anything into the recycle bin. This is what is the difference between delete and hard delete and export on. Okay, and let's do one by one. Insert. So if you see, when you try to insert, okay, previously in the old data loader we had only password authentication. That means if you go to password authentication, you have to give your username, password, and along with the login.salesforce.com or test.salesforce.com. Okay, but now you have one more option, OAuth option. Here you can select whether production or sandbox. As I am doing this demo on Salesforce Developer Edition, you have to select production here and login. You can give your username, password here. Okay, let's do. Now I successfully logged in. Let's wait for that. Now login is successful and click on next. And what needs to be selected? To which object you want to insert. Okay, that object need to be selected here. What is our object name? School here, and you have to select file here. Choose CSV file. If you see this, no other file format. It can support CSV file only. Browse. Here Dataload docs, school CSV, done. Okay, so if you see here school CSV and next, click on next. So your operation will contain 4 records. That means data loader shows how many records are you going to process. It shows that also initialization succeeded, and now you have to map. Okay, you can have the possibility to save the mapping and select the same mapping through choose an existing map. Okay, here I don't have many fields, I don't need to do that. If you have 100 fields, you always need to save mapping. Here if you see, this is the save mapping, and then you can choose the same mapping always if you have hundreds of fields. Okay, choose an existing map. So now if you click on auto map, see, it automatically maps without mapping. And if you want to do manual mapping, you can do like this, drag and drop. Okay, so but when you click on auto map fields, how it maps means, because you already using the same names as Salesforce object in the CSV header also. In the left column you have file column headers, in the right columns, okay, you have Salesforce object columns or fields. Okay, now you can save mapping also if you want. Okay, and school mapping. Okay, it will be extension with the .sdl, you can use later. Okay, now I am clicking on OK, next. Okay, here if you see, it is asking for directory to store success and error files. Okay, where you want to store. Okay, go to this. Now we go with our things data loader only. Next, let's create a folder also. New folder in the data loader, success and error files. Okay, finish. You have chosen to insert new records. Click S to begin. So always don't go blindly. You see what it is trying to say. Then even sometimes if you are doing any mistakes, instead of inserting you are trying to update, instead of inserting you are trying to delete, it will be very helpful. So while you are doing any data migration in Salesforce to data loader, you always need to see all messages. It is best practice and it will save you in real time. Click on yes. Now if you see, the operations has successfully completed. There were 4 successful inserts and 0 errors. Okay, you can see view success, you can see view errors here itself like this. Okay, status is items created. Okay, and it gives record ID also. Salesforce record ID. After creation of Salesforce record, it generates the Salesforce record ID. It gives that also in the success file. Now close it. Okay. Now you can see here also the success and error files. See. Let's go with success files. See, you can see. And you can use the same file for updating also, but I will show you practically by exporting and updating. Okay. And now I am going to export records. Export school extract data load file. Next. Okay, what are the fields I need? ID because I want to update, location, enough, and name also if you want to update, otherwise nothing. Export, you have chosen to export perform export operation for successful records anyway. Now before we are going to do, let's see in the org whether it is inserted or not. First of all, It is already inserted. I just want to show you here. So now you have 4 records. Now I am going to, so let me add a column also here. Okay, right. Now these are all the records we have created with the data loader. Now I exported the same records. I am going to change, okay, this little angels location to Guntur, okay, through our records. Let's do, okay, everything I will jumble, and Balaji Foundation to Hyderabad, Little Angels Kadapa to Guntur, these kind of things I will do. So let's go to our folder where we exported. This is the exported file, school extracted. If you observe, we have ID, record ID, and this one. Now what I am going to do, for Silver Bells I am doing Hyderabad, for Little Angels I am doing Kadapa, and save. Now I'm saving. I'm just closing. Now I saved this school extract, okay, with the changes. Now I'm going to I'm trying to update school object, as we have to select, and what needs to be selected, school extract, update, create. So you can select the mapping, what you can select. Let's go with this. See here, choose an existing mapping. I can select this, it automatically maps. Why it is not mapping? Because it's an update operation. Okay, no problem. So let's match here, and what you want to map, always record ID, next, finish. Still it gives 4 successful, and this one you can see here itself, Silver Bells, Hyderabad, Little Angels, Kadapa, Narayana, Good Balaji Foundation. Done. Now let's see the changes here. So see, now you have this. Now let's try upsert. Okay, now that means what we have to do, go to extract file, still now I'm changing this Little Angels to Hyderabad again, and I'm giving one more location, Tirupati, and Blue Moon. Okay, let's go with. So now what we are going to do, upsert operation. Okay, how it works, it should update these things. I am updating all things to Hyderabad, and it should insert new one. This is the upsert operation. Let's do upsert operation. Here what you want to do, school extract, there only we have new records. So if you want to add ID, yes, auto map, okay, finish. Okay, one error. See, you can see error file also, bad value for restricted request, because we don't have Tirupati for the restricted pick list value, so it can't take. So you can see now error file also like this. Now what we have to do, we have to change it to the value what we gave in the pick list, because it's a restricted pick list. Now I'm going to do again upsert operation, upsert and school extract, and now 5 records, select ID here and auto map, done, execute, finish. It's 2. So 5 successful records. Okay, let's see. So 1 should be inserted and all 4 records should be updated to Hyderabad. See, so Blue Moon inserted, Guntur, all other is updated. This is how upsert works. Now how delete works. Let's see. So now what I am going to do, in the extract file we already have it, right? We already have all IDs, so I am going to remove this. Now I am going to delete everything here. So because I want to explain export and export all. Now first thing is I am going to delete everything here through delete option. Yes, now let's go with the export option. Not export, sorry, delete first. You already saw export. We are going to see export all now after deleting. School and take the export, school extract, 4 records, auto map. Only ID needed. You don't need to map anything else. Okay, existing ID, what needs to be deleted. So done, deleted. Okay, now let's go with this. No records are there except Blue Moon, and okay, so let's go with export all now. Export all. So what it has to give, it has to give, or it has to export deleted records also along with the Blue Moon which is existing in thing. Okay, here ID and I can export location, done. And you can see is deleted option also. Okay, then you can see what is it. So 5 successful extractions, and you can see that extract all, see, is deleted false because it is not deleted. Remaining things are deleted, but you are able to export. Okay, you are able to export by using export all. That is the difference. Okay, this is how we can work with Dataloader, and from where you can download the Dataloader. Okay, go to setup. Now we have completed the practicals. Now let's see the installation process. I'm not going to explain anything about it, and just going to show you where you can do this. Tools, go to tools, enter setup, and here, or otherwise you can go to Dataloader instead of that. Dataloader Here you can see data loader for Mac, data loader for Windows, Windows installation instructions, and this one. Okay, here you go with this and you can download like this, and you can see the installation instructions also. So see, you are not going to install anything with this. It's a zip file. You have to click on something. In that you can see all the installation file. First thing is you have to install Zulu OpenJDK version 11 for Windows. Okay, you can find out here in this link. Okay, .msi file you can install, and you set the path until bin as you set for Java JDK. So you have to set the same way for Zulu OpenJDK also. Okay, then you download and double click on the install.bat file, then it will work. This is how you have to install Dataloader always. Okay, so previously we had OpenJDK, but we don't have now. It's licensed. Now we have Zulu OpenJDK. Please remember this point while installing Dataloader. You should have Zulu OpenJDK and you should have path setup. After that, how to do. And few people always thinks that you may need, or you always need path setup. You always need admin permissions for path setup when you are working under firewalls or when you are working in the company. So instead of that, you just go with this. Just type this environment variables. Okay, here you have edit system environment variables. You have edit system and environment variables for your account. You choose that. You don't need permissions. You don't need admin permissions to set. It will work as is, as you are thinking now. Okay, so both are same. You don't need to set the system environment variables. You just need to set for your account. That's it. Okay, so this is how you can install, and you can set the path without admin permissions also. But for installing OpenJDK, you need admin permissions when you are at company. Okay, and when you are working under firewalls. Okay, cool. Thank you very much. All the best. We will see the external ID concept in the second class, that is Dataloader-2. Okay, here you have references. You can go through all the things. You can have more information also what we discussed. This is how you can work with the Dataloader. The main things are what you have to remember. Through Dataloader you can process 5 million records. Okay, and in two ways you can use. One is from user interface, what we discussed. One is from command line interpreter, but the command line interpreter supports only Windows operating system, and we can do insert or update or delete and export all and hard delete, and we already, and upsert also, and we already explained that what is upsert. It's a combination of insert and update, and how it works also we saw, and what is the difference between delete and hard delete. When you delete, it will be the deleted records will be stored in the recycle bin. When you use the hard delete option, it won't store anything in the recycle bin also. It deletes the records permanently. But to enable this option, you should have the checkbox checked on your profile, that is hard delete permission. And coming to export and export all, there is a difference between export and export all. If you use export, it exports the data from the object, but it doesn't consider the records related to that object in the recycle bin. But if you use export all, it considers the deleted records which are in the recycle bin along with the records which are existing in the object. That means export all will export all the records along with the deleted records also. We saw everything practically. Okay, you just try once again from your side. It will be good for you. Okay, thank you very much. All the best. Let's